Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. To start things off, fintech giant PayPal plans to roll out direct sales of cryptocurrency to its 325 million users, according to 3 people familiar with the matter. Currently, PayPal can be used as an alternative means for withdrawing funds from exchanges such as Coinbase, but this would be a first in terms of offering direct sales of crypto. They said, my understanding is that they are going to allow buys and sells of crypto directly from PayPal and Venmo. A well-placed industry source told CoinDesk they are going to have some sort of built-in wallet functionality so you can store it there. It's unclear which or how many cryptocurrencies would be available. The industry source said they expected PayPal would be working with multiple exchanges to source liquidity. A second source confirmed that PayPal is looking to offer buying and selling of crypto and said the service could be expected in 3 months. Maybe sooner. That we are June, that's July, August, September. So by the beginning of autumn, this could be happening. PayPal declined to comment on the plans. I read it. I mean, wait for it. They were, of course, this was the most popular news of the day, and I searched around on other websites to see if I could find anything as to exactly what PayPal said. I think their response was PayPal declines to respond to any speculative rumors that may be abound or something ridiculous like that. San Francisco-based crypto exchange Coinbase and Luxembourg-based Bitstamp were mentioned as likely contenders by the sources. Both Coinbase and Bitstamp declined to comment. Of course, it's worth noting that PayPal has a long-standing relationship with Coinbase, going back to as early as 2016. In 2018, Coinbase made instant fiat withdrawals to PayPal available to U.S. customers. Last year, European Coinbase users could withdraw to their PayPal accounts, followed by users in Canada. If this is true, like I said, this was the most popular news of the day. This was the thing that everyone, I mean, it is, in a way, in a very big way, incredibly significant. If this happens to be true, this opens up an on-ramp for buying, selling Bitcoin. I'm going to assume, this is my assumption because this is how the space normally works. They're probably going to either just exclusively add Bitcoin, but I feel like we're kind of past that already. I feel like we're at the point where they're going to have to at least have about 4 or 5 coins from the get-go. So assume Bitcoin, Ethereum, I dare say Litecoin. I would even go as far as to say Bcash. It's typically added to a lot of places as it was like the first official fork from Bitcoin. And I think a lot of people who hold Bitcoin also hold or still are holding their Bcash. Fifth coin, I don't know. And I won't even say XRP. I feel like we're at the point where, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the letters will really make sense in this entire situation. For those of you who don't know the actual partial history of PayPal, PayPal was actually created as, it was meant to be roughly something that like looked similar to Bitcoin. It was meant to be like a digital cash that people could use on their own. I think the story goes, once PayPal got like slightly popular, the US was kind of like, hey, what's that? What do you guys doing over there? And PayPal slowly, merged eBay and all this other stuff and kind of became what it was. This is what I read before about the actual guy who created PayPal. His original idea was something along the lines of Bitcoin. He stated before that he sees a promise in Bitcoin in the future. If this is true, this is going to completely change everything. Right over here, it says Bitcoin surges above 9,700, helped by rumor about PayPal's upcoming fiat on-ramp. Not the fact that none of Bitcoin's fundamentals have changed, not the fact that there are already tens of millions of people who are definitely into Bitcoin, have been buying it, institutions, rich people, rich families, people hoarding it, and hiding it inside of mountains, but it was the rumor that PayPal would allow for direct buying. As it stands, I mean, this would, I don't think, the significance of it can't be understated. Whenever major players keep getting into the cryptocurrency space, it for some reason keeps going, I want to say the word unnoticed. We have mega names in the cryptocurrency space. Even the idea that Jack Dorsey was talking about, or rather the fact that you can, from Jack Dorsey's app, the Money, Twitter, whatever app, you can buy Bitcoin directly from there. We have so many different on-ramps now. I think people really take them for granted. However, if this PayPal thing actually ends up being true, expect a massive bullish movement in price, because I believe this is probably true. Usually, the cryptocurrency space has a pretty good streak when it comes to CoinDesk reporting that something is going to happen because they have sources, and then it ends up happening. Very good streak thus far. We'll see, as this is still a rumor. However, this would be another major catalyst of, bull run. Anyway, that's the PayPal Bitcoin news. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, is inviting people to beta test its Starlink satellites, a mega constellation promising access to the internet from virtually anywhere on Earth. The $36 billion company now has over 500 satellites in orbit. Last week, it announced the trials of its space-based internet platform could start within weeks. An invitation to sign up for Starlink updates was published on the startup's website. Startup? Oh, I was like, SpaceX isn't a startup. Users sign up with an email address and zip code and are told Starlink will begin beta testing this summer. In the northern hemisphere, the company promises to notify everyone with the right zip code. Here's the actual message right there. Seattle and Germany are thought to be in the running for the first batch of trials, according to the past tweets from Musk. Satellite. Seattle and Germany. That's why not like New Hampshire and Tokyo? Like those are very specific places. Here's the tweet right there. SpaceX satellites have the bold aim of bridging the digital divide. Half the world. Think of how many people there are in the world. Now, imagine walking down the street and half the people you see do not have access to the internet. Wouldn't that seem incredibly weird? Half the world, predominantly poor and rural communities, still have no internet access. It is the year 2020. Or suffers from poor connectivity and prohibitively expensive services. Without having to read much more, the original idea of this entire satellite thing, I think, was first mentioned about 2 or 3 years ago, Starlink. Musk's idea was that he wanted to launch satellites in space that would provide free internet for everyone on the planet. I think last year the F word, FREE, was thrown completely out of the window because the original, I'm pretty sure, I remember reading this. The original idea was to have internet access for everyone on the planet going through this Starlink. And I think a lot of companies were like, hey man, you can't just offer free internet for everybody in the world. But the idea is kind of cool. I think he said that it won't be free now, but I think it's going to be dramatically cheaper than other, here we go. Low-cost internet to urban areas too. It's supposed to be one of the cheapest options. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, what we've been talking about over the last 3 years specifically, a lot of the major tech companies who are in the world right now, obviously, there's a really big shift happening, and I'm pretty sure that governments and mega companies are really paying attention to it. Remember the idea, I'm pretty sure it was Uber, and then I'm pretty sure it was Elon Musk. It must have been. The point is, there were a couple of companies last year who were talking about releasing self-driving cars this year. I assume a lot of those plans have been pushed back because, you know, the first half of the year was garbage. So the initial idea is that the free rides, or rather the rides in a self-driving car, because Uber was releasing their fleet this year, would be cheaper than normal Uber rides with an actual driver inside of them, because the cars would be electric, the cars would be solar paneled, and the cars would be so-and-so, and you wouldn't have to actually pay the driver or the risk of having a driver or whatever might come with having a driver. Therefore, the ride itself would be a lot cheaper. I'm certain it was Elon Musk. He was also planning on releasing his own fleet of self-driving cars, and he mentioned that within the next 5 to 10 years, he would start, you know, taking out parts of the car. Eventually, when people get used to not having a driver, there would be no steering wheel, and eventually there would be no brakes and accelerator because there's no driver. The cars have not had a driver for a while, and the original proposed thing was that eventually to drive a mile, I think you would have to pay like the equivalent of like 9 cents, like actually 9, like the number 9 cents per mile, if you were trying to ride and stuff like that. And the other point to be made is that through this actual satellite thing and providing low-cost internet to people around the world, is that mega companies, and even you can go as far as to talking about the entire Facebook Libra thing, are almost looking for solutions to the things that we have right now. Like, I know a lot of people who pay a pretty penny for internet. Imagine if we get to the situation where there are 3,000 satellites from SpaceX and Starlink floating around the Earth, and people are able to have internet for $4.99 per month through SpaceX. And it's a lot of friction. A lot of the old world, which is the world that we currently have, is complete garbage, even when it comes to payments, when it comes to sending payments, when it comes to doing all these things, when it comes to the way that our infrastructure is currently built. Like, even the idea that Elon Musk was like making roads underground to like ease congestion within LA, and people were like, that's a really good idea. So it's kind of all these, you know, what have you. Elon Musk is an interesting person, not without fault, but you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, this was also very popular news. I assume this is going to be running within the next couple of years, like completely and fully. It would be fascinating to live in a world, or so the experts say right now, self-driving cars. Imagine a self-driving taxi or a self-driving Uber. Imagine driving 5 miles or 10 miles and you have to pay 90 cents to go where you're trying to go, and like there are no additional costs. And like he said, even as time goes on and like more other companies get into this kind of like what's the word, competitive thing. If his are 14 cents, someone's is going to be 9 cents. If his is 9 cents, someone's going to try 8 cents. And he said it'll eventually get to the point where you'll be able to go anywhere you want in a self-driving car for pennies on the dollar. Fascinating, right? Anyway, that's the SpaceX Starlink news, and it's significant because this allows more people. When you talk about the actual, yeah, even right here, with the aim of providing internet coverage to most of the world by 2021, if we talk about people being included in the digital revolution, we probably also need about a good 3.5 billion people who should have access to cryptocurrencies as well. Like, imagine a world where nearly everyone, 95% of the people on this planet, not only have access to the internet, but incredibly cheap internet. They can get safe, nearly free rides, and also they have access to this world of finance that they previously did not have before. Like, think of, I've mentioned before in other videos, we a lot of times forget how lucky we are that we have internet access and that we can walk outside and go to a bank and go to an ATM. There are billions of people on this planet who don't have any of that. So imagine this inclusion and what could happen to the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as people enter this world as well. Anyway, that's that news. And let's move on. Next up, well, here's something you don't see every day. Kind of. Bitcoin being outranked by another coin. You may not believe it, but in China, that appears to be the case. China has put out a list of its top digital currencies. It's strange considering how strong of a presence Bitcoin holds in the country. But according to the Center for Information and Industry Development of China, the CCID, Bitcoin is only the 12th best coin available to traders, This is in sharp contrast to many other regions, which often place the world's largest cryptocurrency by market cap in number 1. To be fair, the new ranking for Bitcoin is about 2 positions higher than it was last year. The CCID releases an annual report known as the CCID Global Public Chain Technology Evaluation Index. Could they have fit any more words into that? The document ranks all the top cryptocurrencies across the globe in terms of their innovation, usefulness, how smoothly their code updates go, how easily they are for developers to work with, and their support for blockchain applications. In addition, the coins also get points for how creative they are. Sure, last year Bitcoin came in 14th place, while this year's moved up 2 spots. Perhaps this is something to be grateful for. Who cares? But at the same time, 12th place is still relatively low for a coin that gave birth to an entirely new financial industry. That is true. The top ranking coins on the list are TRON and EOS, which took the number 2 and number 1 spots, respectively. The third highest coin is Ethereum, which, while spots 4 and 5 are given to IOST and Chainlink. The placement of these coins is interesting in that TRON and EOS came out ahead of Ethereum. These 2 currencies are often looked upon today as blockchains that are faster and superior to Ethereum, even though the latter offers smart contract capabilities. To be fair, we don't. Remember the almost said the good old days. Remember the weird old days where Tron was in the news 19 times a day, and it was just Justin Sun tweeting. Justin Sun was pretty much like the Elon Musk of the cryptocurrency world. He was just tweeting anything that came to his mind, and Tron's price would keep pumping. So apparently the news is China likes Tron and EOS more than Bitcoin and Ether. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I feel like if there were, and this is my, this is my brain. If there were over-the-counter markets that were offering Tron on a daily basis and it ranked higher within China, I feel like all the news that we've been getting about the industry within China with the over-the-counter markets buying tons of Bitcoin, the news would have been for quite a while that they were buying Tron. The speculation has also been for a while. And this is the speculation. No one knows if this is true, but we had a lot of news about this last year. That apparently there are close ties between China and Tron and Justin Sun, and that they're trying to, apparently we're trying to make it the coin of choice, as Neo has fallen out of favorability when Neo was believed to be the coin of China for a while, but that's fallen into obscurity as well. Sure, why not? When I said who cares, it's because Bitcoin is going to remain Bitcoin. I do not foresee any time in the near future. Who knows? This has been a wacky year. That Tron will overtake Ethereum or that Tron will overtake Bitcoin. I think if Tron overtook Bitcoin, I think I'd have to take like a month break. Like I'd legitimately need time off for my mental state of mind. Yeah, fairly popular news that Bitcoin was outranked. Oh, for those of you who didn't get it, once again, this is actually released. So it says Center for Information and Industry Development of China. This is run by the actual government. So once again, the same exact place for the last couple of years who's been talking about banning crypto, banning Bitcoin, stopping the selling and buying and all this other stuff of crypto and trading of it. They release something fairly often. It says once a year, but I feel like we get these every quarter. About like the best coins and the top coins, and they release this information into the public and to their public, and they also get this news as well. So it's always kind of weird. You hate Bitcoin and crypto, but you released a list of like 40 to 50 coins and how great they are and what people should be looking to buy. Anyway, that's news, and let's move on. Oh, wait, no, that was also it. Bitcoin not part of the top 10 cryptocurrency, China says. Yeah, because I was looking for the actual article, and I couldn't. But this was the linked article for that article that I just went through. But I couldn't find the actual, list. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, the Chinese central bank is another step closer to the complete preparation of China's digital currency. One of the officials of the Chinese bank mentioned that the back end of the planned central bank digital currency has been completed. Already, the digital currency is being tested in different provinces, in the country. Wang Zhongmin, a former senior official at the Central Bank of China, confirmed the development during an online forum. More precisely, Zhongmin revealed that during the 2020 FinTech Forum held in Beijing, the online section was reportedly organized by Tencent FinTech Research Institute. Moving forward, the Chinese bank official mentioned that the back-end architecture for the development of the central bank digital currency has been completed. As reported by Sina, a Chinese news outlet, Zhongmin said the infrastructure would enable a more convenient environment for digital currencies. So, it looks like the currency is nigh. We've been getting news about this since last year. The news we were getting is that it would launch in June. That was because they were trying to make it come out before Libra came out. Apparently Libra's, slugging along. So apparently by the end of this year, we're going to have this. And I assume many other countries will also come forward to say that they're also going to release their own central bank digital currencies. Here's the actual news article right here. I can't read it, but it was what was mentioned in the actual article that we just went. What? I assume that's not part of it because it's probably not part of it. Anyway, yeah, that's all that news. And let's move on. And to finish things off, the Cardano founder, his name is Charles Hoskinson, discussed the time and effort that has been put into developing Cardano, saying that the bulk of the work needed to launch has already been done in an interview with Messari's Ryan Selkis. However, despite constant comparison with Ethereum, he believes that there won't be any winners in the space for a long time, as the industry is now in the same state the internet was in 1991. Backing up, for those of you who don't know, Hoskinson, I'm pretty sure, was also a co-creator of Ethereum. He apparently gets very upset when people mention that. I don't know what. Okay, it happened like a couple of days ago. People were like, "Well, you co-made Ethereum," and apparently he kind of like went off the rails with that as well. For those of you who don't get the 1991. A lot of people think, we're kind of real. A lot of people think that cryptocurrencies are still incredibly new, which they are. Bitcoin's been around for 11 years. And that the estimates that we had in 2017 was that we were somewhere like in the late 80s when it came to the cryptocurrency field and market and growth and development. Apparently, we're now in 1991. If we're only in 1991 and Bitcoin's price near 10,000, by the time we got to the year 2000, for those of you who don't remember, I remember having like the internet was fairly prominent. So what is Bitcoin's price going to be in the year, air quotes, 2000? What is Bitcoin's price then going to be in the year 2020? Because everything we do is on the internet. Everything. After a hugely successful shipping of the Shelley testnet, Cardano has entered... Wait for it. Wait. There we go. Sorry, I was pulling the microphone, and it causes like a glitch in my ear. So I only heard Anyway, the point is, after a hugely successful shipping of the Shelley testnet, Cardano has entered into the last stage of the race towards complete decentralization. Wow. Once Shelley, the era of the Cardano blockchain that will enable staking, is launched, the blockchain will have transitioned from a static and federated system to a dynamic and decentralized one. Those are big words. In an interview with Messari's Ryan Selkis, Charles Hoskinson, the CEO of Input Output Hong Kong, looked back on the effort that has been put into the project so far. The outspoken creator of Cardano said that it has been incredibly gratifying to see the product of 5 years, of painstaking work finally coming together all at once. This year has been going great, he said, as the company has been hitting all of the benchmarks and deadlines it set. The same couldn't be applied to the past 2 years, Hoskinson explained, as Cardano kept facing hurdles on every corner. These hurdles which were a consequence of having two separate teams working on Cardano simultaneously, helped it become notorious for being slow. Wait. Nowadays, however, speed and efficiency seem to be the only epithets, okay, that could describe Cardano's development. Hoskinson said that the mainnet, here we go. Hoskinson said that the mainnet candidate for Shelley will be shipped as early as the 30th of June. That's, was that, seven days away? If everything goes well with the testnet, Shelley will be turned on the 29th of July. Okay, it's another date now. While all registered staking pools will be able to begin mining pools as early as the 18th of August. Okay, these are new days. Don't slow down, Cardano, because these are you know, we were doing fine before with the 30th of June. The numbers that we had before was that Shelley would be shipped or activated on the 30th of June, and I think it was the 8th of July is when Shelley would be turned on. So now it says, all remember this, everyone, remember these numbers. Shelley will be turned on the 29th of July. And staking pools will happen on the 18th of August. Remember these numbers. Because sometimes I go through articles and I'm like, what was the number? I remember the other ones. I remember all the numbers. So that tells me, at least I have about a good month and some change to accumulate a bit more. The point is, yeah, Cardano's Shelley apparently is very near. We keep getting a lot of news about it as the days roll on. Anyway, that's the Cardano news. And yeah, I mean, 29 July. Nobody forget that. Shelley will be on the 29th of July. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia569, Yasha Harari, Moonman High, XRP, The Pothead, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Chongololo, Tsongololo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohan Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Nicholas Renorth, One Piece, One Love, Damien Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Manjela, Buddy Anthony, Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, His Chassis, Dan Calskips, Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Buddy McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monks, Corner Staff. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was looking here, but I was still saying it because I remember them. Fancy. Arthmetic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger and Machanisa, On Crypto with Lano, Crayola and Michelle, URL, Bolero Bastos. And hold on, I have to sneeze. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who supports the channel in any way, anyway, at all. Thank you to all of you. At the moment, the crypto market is all over the place because it has no idea where it wants to go. Here's the movement upward that we had when the PayPal news was releaseth. Bitcoin hit 9,700. And then it's slowly slinking back down over the last couple of hours because I guess the hype is gone, which is ridiculous because, you know, you would assume that it's not just hype and that the idea would have stuck in people's heads. Ethereum is up by 3.6%, 3.16, excuse me. I assume this also has to do with people potentially, maybe, finally realizing what's going to happen with Ethereum over the next, like, month. What else is there? Cardano is going down for some odd reason. Chainlink is up. Sure, why not? Okay, B is up. And Compound is still ticking on nonsense. Digibyte is up. Wonderful. That was slight sarcasm. Compound Ether is up by 3%. $212 trading volume. Wonderful. Compound USD up by 6.7%, $158. Also wonderful. Yeah, the cryptocurrency market's a mess, an absolute mess. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not going to make sense for a very long time. And I assume that's because we're in 1991. And if you remember the internet, I don't remember life in 1991. The internet wasn't really a thing until I was like 11, 8. 9? Why am I counting? The point is, I do hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day. a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. We always have tons of great news. The market just does not seem to be reacting, but I think that's also fine as well, because at least it gives us more time to accumulate. I saw a couple of people who were like, oh gosh, I'm glad the prices haven't gone back up. I can buy more. Listen, if you are an accumulator, now may be the time to do it, because you never know where prices are going to be, because once again, the cryptocurrency market just does not make any sense. Thank you all once again for watching and listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.